toll from New Zealand's White Island volcano disaster has risen to 6. 8 other people are unaccounted for. The coroner's begun collecting information on clothing, jewellery, scars and tattoos as the process of identifying the victims begins. Live now to New Zealand correspondent Jackson Williams. Jackson, dozens of people remain in hospital.
Annalise, a total of 30 people remain in 6 hospitals across New Zealand. We're told that 25 of those people are in a critical condition, such as the severity of the burns they sustained as a result of this volcanic eruption at White Island on Monday afternoon. A further 5 people are in a serious but stable condition. We heard from the Chief Coroner this morning that post-mortem examinations have begun on the 6 victims confirmed dead. Police and the Chief Coroner telling us that the process to formally identify these people will likely be quite a drawn-out and complex one.
The bodies of those confirmed deceased have been flown to Auckland for the post-mortem process. This is because we are conscious of returning loved ones to their families, wherever their families are, as soon as possible.
So that is information about the person we believe to be deceased gathered before their death. So, for example, what they were last wearing, what jewellery they might have, any scars or tattoos that might identify them.
And Jackson, volcanic activity has significantly increased on White Island this morning. What does that mean for the recovery operation?
Well, some people were hopeful that the recovery process would be able to take place today. The weather conditions are somewhat favourable. This was really seen as the only window of opportunity. That's because the weather is forecast to take a turn for the worse tomorrow afternoon. So there is every possibility now that it's going to be some time, a number of days, possibly not till next week, until those bodies will be able to be retrieved. Weather, of course, is one factor, but the primary factor is the conditions on White Island, and we've received an update from GNS Science. They tell us that since 4 a.m. this morning, the level of volcanic tremor has significantly increased at the island. They say this has been accompanied by vigorous steaming and localised mud jetting in several of the craters that were created as a result of the eruption on Monday afternoon. The experts tell us that the situation as it stands remains highly uncertain as to future activities, and that eruptions, Annalise, in the next 24 hours are still likely to occur. The Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, said earlier today that she was hopeful, of course, that the retrieval of these bodies would be able to begin today. But given the outlook provided by GNS Science, it's not looking like that will be a reality anytime soon.
Jackson Williams, thank you for your update. Now, there are grave fears held for the Australians missing in the volcano tragedy. As Christy Coulter explains, an Adelaide woman presumed dead has been found among the wounded in hospital.
Many of the missing Australians travelled to New Zealand as passengers on board the Ovation of the Seas cruise ship. They were part of a group that took a day excursion to visit White Island. It's been revealed this morning that Adelaide mother Lisa Hosking, who was on the missing list, has now been identified and is among those critically injured in hospital. But her husband Gavin Dallow and her daughter Zoe Hosking have not yet been found. Other Australians still missing include the Langford family from Sydney's northern suburbs, Anthony and Christine and their teenage children Jessie and Winona. Another Sydney family, Martin and Barbara Hollander, and their children Matthew and Berend are also unaccounted for. Coffs Harbour couple Richard Elza and Carla Matthews are also missing, while their friend Jason Griffiths is being treated in hospital. Queensland mother and daughter Julie and Jessica Richards and another Queensland man, Robert Rogers, are also unaccounted for. Other missing Australians who are not believed to be passengers of the Ovation of the Seas cruise include Crystal Browett from Melbourne, Jane Murray and Diane and James Kirby from Sydney, and 5-year-old Joshua Kin also from Sydney. Concerned family and friends are desperately trying to find out whether their loved ones are being treated at hospitals across New Zealand or whether they're among the deceased, 3 of which Foreign Minister Marise Payne has said are Australians.